Okay, so going over how to host a proper tryout. First, take a look at the notes I have given you via DMs, and also be sure to download UpNote. It will help you. Right, let's get started. You're going to start off with the introduction. In this case, I have my introduction here ready to go. Just Control C. You will press this Shift and the quotations like this, and you'll be able to type the commands in. So, in this case, I already have mine copied and pasted. However, you need to use M to shout a message like this. Notice that you don't have to include this. So, again, here, ignore this, just take that, and that's how you get your message like this. Alright? So, a few things. Before we even dive into this, make sure that you understand how to properly host a tryout. So, you are going to shout in the Discord first before coming into this game here, alright? So, let's go ahead and head to the game, or Discord, sorry. So, here, I'm going to scroll up, you're going to copy my format here. You will change the time of your hosting, alright? In this case, I hit 4:30 because that's convenient for me, but you can change that. So, to do that, you can simply just do this. Click the Edit button, and you will be able to edit the time. Press backspace, and you'll be able to delete this here. Press enter to put it back, alright? Now, let's talk about lineups. When we open lineups, we'll notice the schedule. Let's say 4:30, 5:30, whatever time zone might be. Notice we have a list of 4 time zones. So it'd be convenient for these 4 people attending the try. Also notice that you will need to pay attention to Academy. This is the Academy channel. People will ask when there's tryouts, stuff like that. You can gladly answer when there will be a tryout, but you're not allowed to tell them what is going to be on the tryout. If you're caught doing so, you will be removed from the Academy Instructor program. Alright, so now you're going to go over these. You're going to explain that the tryout has a striking system. Only do this when it's already time to start the tryout. So if we go back, we have 4:30. Let's say it's 4:30. Oh, okay. So then what you would do is serverlock. Put serverlock on. Sorry. We're going to do this again. Serverlock on. There you go. See? Serverlock on. So, now, what you will do next is very important. Okay? Make sure that you have your set message already in place. You'll do this like this. You can say NYPD training / tryout for Academy only. You can also say and STS on the black line. Like this. Okay. We have all these things now, right? Now it is time to set the strikes, okay? Max strikes, 3. Notice right side, there's a notification that you have set the maximum amount of strikes people can earn is 3. Let me explain a few things. So strike Diego 1. Notice how I have 1 strike. If you do strike if you do this, it's going to kick automatically the player. Don't do that. It adds up by 1. See? And if you keep adding, it will kick the person from the server. This is how to remove a strike in case you didn't, if you did not mean to give that person a strike. Alright. I'm going to explain everything here. Every single thing here. What I do is just copy and paste everything here. So I'm going to uncopy this. Or not uncopy this. Take the quotations off. Okay, that's fine there. So that. And it will go through here. So, sorry. The explain part, you do not need to, don't copy this. This is just for you. It's just saying you're going to explain how the system works for the tryout, okay? So, obviously everything here, this will disappear in a few seconds. Okay, there we go. Then you will explain the rules. Copy and paste the rules like this. Like that. So then you will start off your tryout. Always make sure that any person who's not part of Academy, you need to remove them. Simply hit the kick command, kick username, kick username. There you go, see? Just put the username and they'll be kicked from the server. Alright. You're gonna move on to 15 JJs. They will do 15 JJs, okay? It will show them how to do them. Just do one example. Just say 1. That's how you do a JJ. Then, after you're finished, you will move on to phases. You need to understand phases before you can even start doing phases with trainees. Alright, that should take around a few minutes. You will do all these phases, no exception. Then you're going to move on to gun range. Now, a few things. So, let's say, okay, we're done with phases. We're done with phases. You're going to say, as it fell on me, and all the trainees will line up behind you. Also, commands to open any type of lobby or room is as follows. Open lobby. This is how you open it, and then you can walk through it. Same goes for everything. Defensive tactics, shooting range, outside. It says the name. So if I say open defensive, it will open it for me. Alright, so then you're going to say prepare kick. They will all jump in order, and you will march. Say march. You can also say double time to also run quickly. So you will move on to the shooting range first. The second part, sorry. So in this case, open shooting. There you go. See? You're going to say halt. STS on the black line. Like this. STS on the black line. Well, all STS on the black line. Make sure they're not hand holding anything like that. Alright. This is where most people will get a strike. That's okay. So, to give yourself a Glock, give me Glock. You have your Glock here, see? These guns do not jam, but you should explain to them in the real game the guns do jam. And you don't need to dig too deep into that because there's already a tutorial how to unjam your weapon, how the procedure works with our new gun system and all of that. So you do not need to explain any of that. You're gonna have, depending on how many trainees you have, you need to split them. You're gonna start with one group. So let's say there's 4 people in this group. They're gonna move all the way to the left side. Make sure, let's see. So there's one person here, one person here. They just need to be spaced out like this. Also make sure that your trainee, in this case, the target here, they're supposed to hit the right target, see? Right there, see? So if you see them doing this, hang on, I'll show you. So, this, that means that they're not following directions. They will get 1 strike. If they continue to do it, give them one more chance, one last chance, and if they mess up again, give them a 2nd strike, etc. Keep in mind that you should not eliminate someone for either, actually yes, you can eliminate someone if they are not following directions. So if they're firing at the wrong target like multiple times, then clearly you need to give them a strike and they will eventually have 3. Alright, anyway, remember, all the trainees need to be spaced out. So there should be 1 here, 1 here, 1 here. Alright, it's going to be like this. Also, to give people the pistol, or the Glock 19 in this case, you're going to say give all Glock 19. So here, give all Glock. There you go, see? Just say Glock, you don't need to say this one. Just this one. And I got it. A few things with this command. It will give everyone that is in your training and the server a pistol. So keep in mind of that. If you have a trainee kill you, you need to remove them immediately. It does not matter if it's an accident, they're getting removed from the training. Also, if you notice there's a bunch of trainees who are just shooting each other, you have the right to pause the trial and halt it and postpone it, just so you know. Anyway, let's continue. Gun range. Go back to your notes, up note. Here's gun range right here. Keep in mind of the notes here, you need to read them. Here's the command for giving Glocks. Here are the rules. Fire is shoot once. So if you say fire, they're going to shoot once, like that. Reload, they're going to reload, and you will actually be able to see if they're reloading or not. Okay, there you go. Then, fire a will, right here, just means they're going to keep firing like this. Watch. They will keep firing until their mag is empty. But you need to say ceasefire in order for them to stop. If you don't say that, they're going to continue firing. Obviously, ceasefire means stop all firing. Everyone should stop shooting their gun. Present arms basically means, so here, means they need to take out their gun like this. This is present arms. Order arms is the same thing. So order arms is putting the gun away like this. And those are the basics. you need to do for the firing range, or gun range, let's say, you need to do a few of these. Do these 3 times, do these 3 times, do this 3 times. So yeah, do these 3, all of these should be 3 times these, to see if they're competent enough to join the force. Then, after you're finished with that, let's say, okay, you're all finished there, that's good. Oh, one thing. Golden rule. It applies if you're inside the range. You're inside the range, right? But there's a trainee who decides to shoot you. When you say the command, let's say, fire, and they fire at you while you're inside the range, you need to make it clear that they should know the golden rule, alright? Make sure no one is firing when you're inside the range over here. It is considered inside the range if you're over here. Now, you should not be all the time here because you want to keep going with your training. So, you want to do it only 1 time or 2 times is fine to get inside the range to see if any of the trainees would mess up. After you're finished, you're going to say SFL on me. Make sure that you say order arms if they have their gun out. Do not say order arms when you're already in line. No. You need to say it when you're over here. So order arms. Okay, they put their guns away. Now you say SFL on me. Next, you will march them, or you will head to defensive tactics. This should be open already. Yep. Have them STS on the black line. So you say halt STS on black line. We'll stand here. Okay. Few things. You may not have access to F3X. That's okay. But you're not going to worry about this yellow circle at all. We can leave this, I guess, as an example. Or, yeah, okay. So for this part, there's instructions here. So, defensive tactics room, you're going to start off by placing one trainee in the red line over here. They will stand literally right here, like that. And you will start over here. Now, likely, the circle is going to be removed soon. But if it's not, then that's okay. Because you can still use the circle. Here, I'll show you. You can still use the circle, but you should make it clear that the criminal, which is you, don't tell them that you're a criminal. Just tell them that you could be either a criminal or civilian. So they don't really know. Okay. You will say a scenario, okay? You're gonna do 2 scenarios. Everything's listed here. You gotta read that. You're gonna say environment. So, example, we're gonna say environment police station. You're gonna use this. Environment police station, okay? So, what this is, it's going to basically help the trainees prepare for any type of scenario. So, make sure, and before you actually do this, give everyone tasers, give all batons, do not give everyone handcuffs. Please don't do that. Because either people will start cuffing each other and that's going to be annoying. So, my biggest suggestion is give username handcuff. You only need to say hand. You don't need to say handcuff. Just handcuff. Give me handcuff. This is what the handcuffs look like. They're different from the the game. This is the baton. The taser works in the training center, so they will be able to use it. So good practice. Each of the trainees that are going to do the scenario need all of these tools. There should be 4 tools that all the trainees should have before starting this section of the tryout. Okay. Now, you also need to make sure that they understand the use of force. You need to know the use of force by memory. So, let's start off. So I'm going to say my environment. My environment is going to be police station. There you go. You can say begin, so they know that, okay, it's time to start. Give yourself either a machete or a Glock. However, just give it a second. Do a 30-second countdown and then act as normal. And then the officer will be right here. Don't worry about the circle. You can pass the circle. I don't care. Just make sure that the officer responds on time. So, a few things. There's many factors for this scenario. Oh, my gun did jam a bit. Okay, interesting. You press F to unjam, by the way. Okay. So, explain to them that there's an exit over here for the criminal to escape. If you walk by here, they can no longer catch you. So you've escaped. You basically start off here. The officer starts off here. He's gonna try to get you, but he has no idea that you might try something sneaky. So that's why I'm saying that you're only going to say environment. Any environment, like let's say police station, and you will fit the scenario as needed, basically. You can say any of these, deli, market, main street, any of these. Another thing, I've noticed that a few people, at least, try to use the wrong use of force when they're on the officer team like this. Either they pull out their taser too late, or they cuff rush. And cuff rushing is not allowed. So if you notice any cuff rushing, then you need to tell them not to do that. If they continue to do it, you need to give them a strike for not listening. Okay, so let's do another scenario. Let's do Deli Marketplace. Let's do that one. Let's say begin. Then you're starting. You can also say takes out Glock, something like that, or takes out machete, whatever it might be. Just know if the officer starts shooting at you when you, as a criminal or civilian, whatever it might be, you pull out the gun, but then you put it away, right? The officer should not be tasing you or handcuffing you. because you did nothing. However, they did present their gun for no reason, so that counts as illegal gun trafficking. So you can charge them for that. So make sure the officer knows that, alright? Those are two scenarios you can do. Few things I would say is make sure you start off with a simple scenario that is easy to understand, and then move on to a harder scenario for the second one. Once you're finished here, you're going to move on to breaching. So obviously you're going to say SFL on me. I'm going to fly myself. Don't fly yourself. You're going to take them there. And is this locked? No, it's not. Okay. Have them line up around maybe here. Have them STS here. And now you're going to go over breaching. Breaching is very simple. You're going to tell them this information. It should be three things to breaching, like this. You could say it like this. Just say it like this. Oh, it tags. Alright, well, you say, so breaching, number 1 is stacking. Number 2, ready to breach. Number 3 is R as in ready. Now explain the roles. So basically here, can't copy and paste this. Point lead, as in the squad leader, will have the battering ram. This is the battering ram right here. Show them that only the squad leader has the battering ram. Make sure to say these as well, they're important. The leader can have a gun out, alright? And point lead is responsible for most of the action. So, actions made in clearing, you get what I'm saying. Supporter. So, here is the squad leader. Now we have the supporter. Supporter is going to be in the second line. They're going to be about right here. They're going to be with a pistol. Like this. Now we have the middleman. The middleman, they're going to have a riot shield. Like this. They're going to be on the third line. Do not worry about the rifle. We're not using rifles. Okay. You can ignore the rifle part. Alright? Middleman will simply go up to the supporter, which is on the second line, and move up one space like this. That way, when they conduct the breach, or the leader in this case, when he breaches, that means the shield man can move on the second line, covering the second supporter pistol man, which is the supporter right here. Don't get confused. Just because I breached doesn't mean that the shield man is going to breach. So middleman never breaches. Only the leader, point lead, does. This guy. Now we have the rear man. And for the rear man, he's going to be behind with a pistol or, yeah, pistol. No, I'm flying myself. Like this, alright? So, he will be the lookout, like stated here. He'll be walking around like this. He will not go inside the breaching area. No, he's gonna stay on the lookout. Now that everything is clear here, you will start conducting the breach. So, assign a point lead, assign a supporter, assign middleman, and rearman. There are 4 roles that they need to know. You can rotate 2 times, however, for time's sake, you should not be rotating at all. The maximum amount of mistakes people can conduct for this stage is only 2. Or sorry, it's 2. So make 2 mistakes and they pass the final one, then they're good to go. However, if they reach the 3rd mistake, they're getting removed from the tryout because they don't know how to breach and they didn't follow directions. Alrighty. Now, this is the end of the tryout. Now it's time to decide who has passed the tryout. Oh yeah, almost forgot. For the breach part, you can give the we're not going to use tasers in this case because it is a breach, but the leader can have a taser just for practice sake, alright? But you can give everyone tasers if you want. I don't recommend it because people will tase each other and whatnot. But yeah. Okay. Now, you need to make sure who has passed the scenario part and who has passed the breaching part. Those are the main ones. And also take a look at the gun range. Who has done well in the gun range? Mark their names here for each of the 3 events. So we have gun range, scenarios, which is defensive tactics, and then we have breaching. You can put names like, let's say, Anderson 199. Those are just fake usernames, as an example. Okay, these 2 did well. Let's say, I'm going to say, okay, these people did well on that one. But let's say this person did not do so well in gun range. So, what's the result here? If they failed gun range, there might be an issue with them in the scenarios part. So you need to make sure what happened. If they apparently passed these 2, in this case, Gabby here, 2, then that means in the gun range, they know exactly what to do. However, they chose not to listen and do their best here. So, you can either fail them, which is probably the best option, or give them an opportunity to redo the range. However, in this case, I mostly fail people who can't master the gun range because it's important. So you may want to fail the person who has failed the gun range. So, few things. Let's say Anderson did not pass the scenario. And let's say he did pass in breaching. What does that tell us? That tells us that this person has failed. Why? Because, oh sorry, I meant to delete this. Because if you did bad in gun range, you should have eliminated him from the tryout. However, you probably decided to give him one last shot for the scenario. For the scenarios, there is only 2 scenarios, so they need to get all 2 of them correct. If they only get 1, it depends. You can let them in, but you need to make sure what type of mistake they did before letting them in. So let's say the person decided to tase the civilian without pulling a firearm. That would not count. Or I should say, that's an automatic fail. Or wrong, I should say. So if, let's say, Anderson here has passed 1 out of 2 scenarios, that's a fail. However, let's say Anderson knows exactly what he's doing, but messed up on one thing. So let's say Anderson pulled out his firearm when the criminal started firing. He did that one correct. So then that's good right there. But then on the second scenario where someone pulled out a knife and stabbed him, he reacted late. So if that's the case, you can still pass him. Just need to tell him that he needs to be improving more on that skill right there. So you can pass him. Just make sure to do background checks. At the end of the trial, you need to do background checks. Alright? You will go to their profile. Example, Dublin Dude. We will check his profile. We will scroll down and you will look through all the groups that he is a part of. And I'm not going to go through all of them just for the tutorial, but you do need to go each and every single one of these. Alright? Example. Anyone, so I'm going to use one of these suspended people as an example here. Here we go. This is his profile. So let's pretend this person passed the trial. He is in, let's see. Let's say this is a gang. Let's say it's CPK, okay? If it's CPK or any of the blacklisted factions, so you will need to go to the NYPD Discord server to find out if the group that they're in is a blacklist. Hang on. You are going to go to disallowed factions. These are the 2 factions that they're not allowed to be in. If they're in it, they will automatically fail. You're allowed to kick them out of the trial without exception. Do not let them back in if they leave these. They're still not allowed to join. Alrighty, that's the end of the tutorial for hosting a tryout in the training department. If you have questions, reach out to me. Diego Works if you have questions. And if anything wasn't clear, maybe you want to look back at this video to see if you missed anything. Alright, that is it. Good luck and enjoy the training department.